Hello, it's Kerry from Mobilates with you here. Wednesday, 4:30 for what we want 152 mindful mobility Pilates. So let's make it a good one. Now it is colder, that's for sure. And I know I've just been watching a bit of weather around the country, and there's some snow. It's cold everywhere, all sorts going on. So whatever you've got, we're definitely going to do a little bit more sort of wriggling and moving just to keep warm and different parts of you warm, especially hands and feet, because they do get extra chilly, the extremities, whilst we sort of concentrate on keeping the core warm. So we're going to be doing a mix of standing, some seated, some lying down if you want a lying down option as well, about halfway through. We're also going to be using a prop this week and next week, and it's an easy prop, it's cushion. So I always have my little cushions on hand. So we're going to use one during the movement section and during the lying down and the sitting section. So you might want two. So you could have one like beneath your head and one somewhere else. Shall we make a start? We're going to make a start with this little wriggle. And just wriggling different parts of our body. You could also tap or rub if that feels better for you. I'm quite liking that. And it's like you're just trying to gently wake up different parts of your body. Especially if you've been still for a while, and it's easy to sort of settle into something, if you're reading a book or concentrating on, like listening to the radio, listening to a drama, something like that, and you can be really still. Maybe you're all still and cozy, heated blanket. Oh, my heated blanket over there has been giving me good service this week. But at the same time, you can be a bit stiff, the blood flow goes. So we're going to really work on getting the blood flow going today. And then we're going to bring our toes up and down. So place your feet down comfortably first. Feet are comfortable width apart, and bring your toes up and down. And these foot movements that we're going to do, you cannot do them enough really, especially on cold days when your circulation may slow down. And moving our feet, moving our ankles just helps pump the blood around like the sort of extra hard, really is an extra pumping mechanism we can use. Now this is harder if you're standing, I'm sitting for a reason. I'm bringing my feet upwards, keep the heels down, and my feet come up towards the knee there. If I was doing that standing and leaning on something, I might do one foot like that, and then the other, or a few with one foot. Always think of it like you're pressing a pedal. If it was my sewing machine, that's it. Right, now we've got the feet down, perhaps give them a little wipe as well. And then place your feet into parallel. They can be a little bit wider, especially if you're standing. And if you're sitting, could you bring your hands up to your chest? Right. We're standing, you're probably going to want your arms out by your sides. We're just going to rock a little forwards and a little back. It doesn't need to be very far. And there's a reason we've just warmed our feet up, apart from getting the circulation going. If we do this before we warm our feet up, the balance will struggle. You just won't feel as much for your feet. And feet are often an area where we can struggle to feel things. That's it. And then take that little side to side, round in a circle. That's it. I don't think I've got the comments on. I can't see if anybody's here. Let me just rectify that, because I can see there's some comments. I had the wrong button on. Oh, hello, Irene. Hello, Christine. Hello, Barbara. Hello, Jackie. Hello. There I was thinking as well. Oh, Barbara as well. Hello. It is. So we've been round in that circle, warm the feet up. Now we'll go into the pelvic tilts. So the feet still facing forwards. Let the knees soften if you're standing. And then we're just going to start tipping the pubic bone up towards our low ribs. and then down towards the floor. If you're sitting, feeling your bottom rolling back like it's a ball. Using your breath to help with this. And that exhale brings, it's like an opportunity to bring a bit of tension to the front, which is sort of powering this movement. That's it. And then let that go. We'll give that little shake again. It's like we can't sit still and we're really fidgety. We're leaning into that part of ourselves, even if that is not you. Right, we'll grow a little taller again. Tap the back of your head, touch, rub, touch your glasses, bridge of your nose, and then take those sensations back. And turn side to side, like you're just tracking around the room. Come back to the center. We're going to tilt from one side, tilt to the other. This is ear in the direction of your shoulder. And then little circle. Now I like this sort of half circle one way and half circle the other. Some people will like a circle, like you're drawing a little circle with the tip of your nose. Or you might go for a full circle like this. And then a shoulder roll. That's it. And then we'll do a little teapot. So keeping your hips still, keeping your feet down, keeping your bottom down if you're seated, just having a handle up the side and a spout, just reaching outwards. Now, if that feels a bit much for the shoulder, you can make your spout much smaller and do less tipping. And we'll just go a few times, but I'm keeping my hips really still. They're not going that way. They're not pushing outwards. They're just keeping really still. The tension is really in my legs to keep them still and pressing downwards, especially this side that I'm moving away from. And then we'll have a little wriggle. Move the shoulders again, and then the same up the other side. And then take your legs wider. Now, if you're sitting, wider legs, sliding one hand up, one hand down, just bringing some rotation into your waist. If you're standing, we can turn the upper body, let the arms come around. Your hips are going with you as well. Perfect. Then come back to the center and we're going to start using a cushion. Now, before we put that cushion in place, it's going to be a balance exercise. We're going to do heel raises like this, but with the cushion between our ankles. So if you're standing, it may feel a little different and you may want extra support. So you might be using a chair by your side or touching a mantelpiece, something like that. So I'm putting the cushion, and mine is quite a small cushion and light as well. And I'm just giving it a little bit of a squeeze. Feet are pointing forwards. And it's almost like my heels want to come closer together. And as you do that, you might feel almost like a little spiral outwards of your legs from the thigh bone here where it's coming into the hip out. So I'm just giving this little squeeze, and my feet are closer together than they usually would be. Depends on your cushion, and that's partly why I've used mine sideways, because it is so little. And you might even feel that come upwards towards your buttocks, so they're a little tighter than they would normally be during this movement. And your arms can come out anywhere to help you, touching something up in the air. Now, if you're doing this seated, you might want your arms inwards. That's it. Oh, I can really feel that in my calves today. So I'll just show from the side so you can see that's what we're doing, going straight up and down. And it's a little bit more blood pumping. That's it. And then we could try taking the arms, give them a little scoop upwards. Now, if that's feeling a bit wobbly, you could add that scoop and then add that raise. And one more. And then we're just going to let that cushion go down on the floor. Then we're going to put one foot on the cushion. So if you are doing this seated, one foot, and you can let it sink. So you've just got one leg slightly higher than the other, and you might turn your cushion around. And if you're standing, one foot, but I haven't pushed this completely into it. My leg's just a little bent like that. And then we'll take our arms just a little outwards for a bit of extra balance and lift the foot away from the cushion. That's it. Now you might want to find something to look at. So I look at a picture above my monitor here. Don't look at me because I'm going to move and talk and do all the things. So look at something that's still and won't move. If you can get that movement with your foot going up and down and you're looking at something, now it's turn your head a little bit to one side away and then go back and look at your thing. Look at your picture, look at the mark on the wall, and then the other side and back. Just a tiny amount, and you might need to go really slowly. And then take that foot down, give everything a little wriggle and a rub. And then we're going to swap to the other leg. So if you're doing this sitting, the same, keep the legs close together, just lifting the foot up and down. Now, because the leg's bent, you can feel quite sort of achy in your hip flexors here, where your thigh joins your hip, or just in the thighs, it might feel a little bit achy. You might even feel like you want to lean back a little bit. I'm leaning back and supporting my back with my arms there rather than collapsing. And then we can do those head turns. You could even take both feet onto the cushion. I'm going onto tippy toes now, so there's a lot less on the cushion. That's just for seated. And then have a stretch out if you're seated, have a wriggle if you're standing. I'm just going to grab a drink as well. And I'd like you to place the cushion between your thighs. So we're just holding on to it. I think I need a bigger cushion for this one. There's not enough squish in that one. So I've got a little bit of a grip on that cushion now, and then I'm going to take my arms up and down, like I'm reaching up towards the sky. And you can bring more movement in. So I'm sending the bottom back. It's like I'm about to sit, and then I'm going to bring myself up with the arms. Now, if you're doing this seated, same thing, pressing into the feet. You can take your feet slightly back from underneath your knees. It's a little bit less stable and it's stronger on the thighs. So less stable just means it's a bit more tippy like that, because it really is like you're about to get up now. Your feet are sort of in that position, but you've got a cushion between your legs, so I don't really want you to get up in that position. But it just puts a little bit more weight through the legs, but otherwise have your shins vertical. That's it. And then one more. Give your hands a rotation at the wrist, little fists, and then little squeezes, rotations again, and then little squeezes. Give the hands a rub. Give the feet a pump. So just lifting the foot, the heels down, lifting the rest of the foot, the front of the foot towards the shin, towards the knees. That's it. Then we're going to take the cushion, both hands, and move it in an infinity loop. You can make your legs go wider, give yourself a bigger base. You can do this standing. You can let your whole body go from side to side, or keep this small. That's it. And then can you take it in front of you, like you're pushing a wheel forwards? I keep catching my zip as I do that. And then reverse that. And then we're going to take it either to your chair, and you could have the cushion right behind you, or down to the floor. And I'm going to have a cushion ready for my head and a cushion for my knees. So I might have my little cushion again. So time to do a little bit of musical chairs for me. Also a good time to have a drink. Oh, hello, we've got extra people here. Gillian. Oh, Gillian, I hope you're getting warmer with all the feet pumps. And Andrew, hello. Nice to have you here. And I hope you're finding my instructions are clear for you, because you mentioned autistic, and really straightforward instructions can help. Right, I'm just getting everything ready for lying down here. So we're going to lie down on our backs with our knees bent and our feet on the floor, or sit back in your chair with your feet on the floor and get yourself comfortable, or as comfortable as you can. And just like at the beginning, all those little wriggles, just getting the body warmed up, maybe tapping or rubbing different parts of yourself. I'm giving my feet a pump. It's definitely cold here. I've not got the heating on yet. It's going to come on a bit later. So just getting that circulation going. That's it. And then check that your head is comfortable too. So if you're seated, you want to just look straight ahead. If you're lying down, your gaze naturally at the ceiling. If it feels like you're looking down between your legs, your head may be lifted too far up. And if it feels like you're looking behind you, you probably need a bit more extra support underneath your head. Place your hands somewhere around your low belly, so you can hold your belly. And I hold it in this diamond shape with my thumb and fingers, like that. It doesn't matter how perfect that is, it's just a rough guide. And then we're going to take a breath in. And as we breathe out, let your belly grow a little more tense, like your hand, and you may not have to imagine this, like your hand is cold and your belly is pulling back from your hand. So you can feel there's a little bit of tension there. And with that tension, we're going to rock the pubic bone towards the low ribs and then rock away. So this is where the end of my ribs are, my low down ribs. And this is my pubic bone rocking towards the ribs, and then downwards towards the floor, towards between your feet, that direction. That's it. And one more. And then if you're lying down, I would like just to roll slightly to the side and get a cushion underneath your pelvis. Now I've got a little cushion, but it's just lifted my bottom up a bit, lifted my hips up. If you're sitting, you could put a cushion just underneath the back of your buttocks, just to lift your hips up a little bit more, or even right underneath your seat. So it sort of lifts you a little higher and almost tips your back that way, so you're in a bit more of a pelvic tilt. So you've got that option. Or if you want something different sitting, put the cushion between your legs and have that option. And then we're going to do those pelvic tilts again. So if you're lying down particularly, it's a deeper pelvic tilt. It's like your bum is already tipped up a little bit and now it's tipping towards you a little further. If that feels uncomfortable, and particularly if you have reflux issues, and it just feels really uncomfortable for your chest here, and for sort of heartburn and reflux sensations, you may not want the cushion underneath here. So you don't have to follow everything I do. If it's not suitable for you, please take it out, because this will still work without the cushion directly underneath. And then just have a little wriggle and let the back of your bottom, if you're on the floor, the sacrum, the back of the pelvis, just rest there. And if you've got the cushion between your legs, just hold it between your legs. Don't squeeze super tight. In fact, we'll take that cushion out if it's between your legs and hold it to your chest. The next thing we're going to do, I'm just going to bring my feet forwards a little. So my legs are at 90-degree angle now at the knee, and the same if you're sitting. And I'm just going to start lifting a leg just a little bit, and then lift the other leg a little bit. And I'm trying to keep my belly and my pelvis really still without my belly sort of moving to one side and the other. And there's tension across here. I'm having to concentrate on controlling these muscles. It's the same sort of tension if you can imagine a small, rather vigorous toddler coming into the room, running in and going, oh, give me a little punch in the belly, and your belly's ready. It doesn't really want to receive that punch without a bit of tension. It's that sort of tension. Some people would describe that as bracing. I think that sounds a bit strong. I don't want you to be super tight and grippy, but there's definitely a level of tension across there. Just so if someone came and prodded it, they could feel that underneath the soft bits, there's a firm bit, just with a bit of resistance. Now, if you're sitting, I want you to keep like this with your feet just coming off the floor. If you're lying down, I want you to take your legs a little higher to this sort of tabletop position. That's it. And we're looking for this top part of your leg to be horizontal. So your shin is horizontal there. Like this is the table leg and that's the tabletop. Now, if you've done these a few times and you're quite familiar with this, you might want to take one leg up and then the other leg up, one leg down and the other leg down. If you're new to this and you haven't done it very much, I'd like you to concentrate more on holding a leg just there and just check that the thigh is really vertical. If it comes in a bit, it tends to ease this tension off here. If it goes away just a little bit, it challenges you more. So now my thigh is very slightly away from vertical. I can really feel it here. And one more of whatever sort you're doing. And then let your legs have a little sway side to side. We're going to pump our feet again. So keeping your heels down and bringing your toes towards your knees. If you're sitting, you've got this cushion on your chest. And then if you're sitting, you can put that cushion behind you and go a little bit further forwards in your chair. So you're sitting on the front third of your chair, because we're going to start creeping a leg forwards, or creeping a foot forwards. So now I'm bringing my toes right up and I'm creeping this foot forwards like it's a caterpillar, and it's got that sort of articulated action. So you can see just one foot is waving and wriggling forwards. Now this does lots of things. It helps with the blood flow because it's getting that pumping action going, and it's strengthening your foot, works the plantar fascia underneath. If you've had plantar fasciitis and the irritation of that, you'll know what I'm talking about. I've gone so long, I'm just stretching my leg right out now and giving that foot a wave side to side. And then I'm going to bring that foot back so it's on the floor. And now I'm going to try and do the same things backwards. So now I'm moving my toes towards the sole of the foot, pushing my foot backwards. Now, if you haven't done these before, you might find that your foot is really slow and it takes a long time to go anywhere. Please be kind to it and be patient. Practice really does make perfect. We'll have a little break here and just let the legs have a sway. And then do the other side. So let's get the toes going up and down. You can just about see my left foot, which is the further foot away from the camera, just moving those toes up and down. Now I'm going to start creeping that foot forwards, and it's sort of rocking at the same time, squeezing until it gets so long that I can just lengthen that leg away and give the foot a little wave side to side, or a little wriggle around with the foot, or a circle. And then place the foot on the floor, just bring that leg back towards you. And then we're reversing that articulation. I find the reversing is harder. And when you're back to where you started, I'll have that little sway side to side. Perfect. Right, just checking where we're going next. Yeah, let's go for that next. So the next position we're going to go into is on our front. First, take this cushion out from underneath your bottom. If you're seated, I want you to sit back in your chair with that cushion just supporting you behind. I'll show you the seated position. The position, if you're lying down, is going to be on your front, and you might want a cushion underneath your pelvis right there, especially if you get low back problems or tight hip flexors at the front. If you're sitting, get yourself comfy on your chair with something behind you, and we're going to place two hands, one on top of the other, against the forehead. And as we do that, feel like it's a surface you can press your forehead into. So my hands aren't moving now, they're going to stay there. I'm going to now take my head slightly back away from the hands, so there's a gap. And then bring it back to rest against the hands. If your shoulders get tired like this, you can bring one hand up to your forehead. It almost looks like you're swooning and going to go like that, but please resist the head tilt because we don't need it in this exercise. So that's my one hand. I come back, so now we lose contact, and then they go back again. And every now and again, you're going to need to put your arms down and give your shoulders a wriggle. If I'm going on my front, I'm going to keep the cushion there because it's not very high. And I definitely like a cushion underneath my pelvis and sort of the low belly. And this just helps my low back. Perhaps a little bit higher, that's it. You might find it's a little bit lower because you need it underneath your hip flexors. Actually, I don't need the cushion there. Right, so on your front here, you can either stack your hands if you're lying down, or you could make that same diamond shape that we made on our bellies when we put the thumbs together and the first fingers, and the hands are slightly angled. Now I'm looking down, that space between my finger and thumbs is making that sort of diamondy kite shape. And I'm going to rest my forehead there. Lengthen the legs, and you've got tension in the legs. You can start lifting the muscles away from the floor. So my thighs are still down, but my shins, that's when they're relaxed and my feet flop. This is when they're long and they've got tension. So a bit of a gap between the legs and tension in the legs, reaching away. Reaching so far that you can feel it travel up to your back and your belly, like your belly's trying to lift off the floor. Going to wriggle my shoulders because I feel they creep up in this movement. So I'm just going to roll them down, take a breath in, and as you breathe out, we're going to lift the head up, not really pressing through the arms. And my chest is coming up a little bit, and then I'm going back down again. I can feel my front ribs on the floor. They're not really going to change very much. My chest is lifting up a little bit here, the front, just this bit, but not this bit here where my lower ribs are. And we'll do one more. Go slow and steady. And then everybody, please release. If you're lying down, let your legs get wider. Maybe your head goes to the side, and just let your hips have a little sway side to side. On the chair, could you wriggle your bum around, please? Give your shoulders a roll. And then if you're seated, I'd like you to rest your arms and tap your feet back. So my toe and the ball of my foot's going back and my heel's lifting as I do that. A little tap back like that. If you're on your front, we're going to do something for our legs. So now you can do whatever comfortable position you can find to put your head down. So I've got my elbows out, my hands are on top of each other, and my forehead's downwards. It makes a little cushion so my nose doesn't get squished. And I'm going to reach one leg even longer, still in contact with the floor, and then lift it just a little. Take it down. The other leg reaches even longer, and then it goes down. Have a little sway in between, and then bring that tension back to the legs. Tightness in the leg muscles. Lengthen and lift. Lengthen and lift. And then sway. Let the legs go wider. Have a break if you're sitting. Pump the toes towards you. Pump the feet. If you're lying on your front, we're going to go back to a sitting position. You might want to go onto your side, or you might push back from this position into sitting. Put your legs in any position that's comfortable for you. And just whilst we all get there, have a little wriggle in the shoulders, a circle of the wrists. That's it. And then could you all put your hands on your chest? Let the elbows flop. Feel your breath against your hands. So feel as you breathe in. Feel as you breathe out. And then could you push your chest just a little up into your hands? And then have a little wriggle again. Take a breath in. Push your chest upwards into your hands and have a little wriggle. And one more. And then we'll let our arms go. Take the palms out to the side. Scoop up the air. Bring your hands together. Give them a little rub. Give yourselves a clap. Give the arms a little rub, the legs a little pat. Remember some of those movements for these cold days. Keep wriggling. Keep the hands moving. Keep the feet moving. Keep warm. I'll see you again next week. Thanks, everybody.